Today I'm going to be talking about MrBeast, the drama he's been in, and a detail that no one is really talking about in this drama. If you don't know, MrBeast is already in heaps of controversy due to multiple expose videos, lawsuits, and more that have been coming out against him. He's been criticized before just for his content alone, as people see it as him using people's misfortune for views and profit. I don't think those points are really valid. The ones I do think that are valid against his videos is that he makes content that is purposefully overly edited that damages attention spans. He so himself said that he is trying to make now longer, more like personal content besides, the shorter videos. Try to act like he wasn't the one that kind of originated it. But I'm going to be talking about a more recent thing that's came out against MrBeast, go over some controversies and lawsuits, and talk about a big deal that no one is really talking about in his most recent collaboration. Just a few days ago, news went around that MrBeast has a new collaboration with serial scammer Logan Paul and egotistical terrible person KSI, where they were making a off-brand Lunchable called Lunchly, terrible name by the way, that include a MrBeast chocolate bar and a Prime bottle, which is KSI and Logan Paul's drink. I've already made a few videos on all of these people or talked about them in the past, so I'm not going to give that much of an introduction to them, but Logan Paul, if you don't know, has scammed his fans using cryptocurrency multiple times and was exposed for his cryptocurrency game that you could, quote, only profit from. And when it was exposed he was scamming people, the main person who came out exposing him for this scam, a YouTuber by the name of CoffeeZilla who specializes in stuff like that, was threatened legally twice by Logan Paul himself in videos. Going from, I'm going to sue you, then making a video saying, I'm not suing you, I was wrong, I'll pay everyone back, I'm sorry, then going back to, I'm suing you.
Dangerously misleading and illegal. I suggest you use the money you got from pumping your Patreon to hire a good lawyer. You're gonna need it.
CoffeeZilla is not a criminal. I called him, I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire, an ego flare, whatever it is, pride. I'm a fighter at heart, and I was defensive because I know I never scammed anyone with this project. I never made any money, never sold any tokens, and I only had the best intentions going in. But the fact is that suing CoffeeZilla is not gonna help CryptoZoo holders, so I do need to focus my attention where it should be, which is on fans and supporters of me. You guys mean the world to me, so I'd like to announce my 3-step plan moving forward. Step 1, Jeff and I are going to burn our Zoo tokens so we have no financial upside in the game and it will add value to holder tokens. Step 2, we want to offer a rewards program for players who are disappointed in the status of the game. So essentially you're gonna be able to burn your base egg or your base animal for the mint price, which was 0.1 ETH or the equivalent in BNB. I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million right now for players who want to get out. And then step 3, obviously finish and deliver the game as outlined in the white paper by completing the egg bridge from ETH to BSC for base animals and base eggs, completing the marketplace, and obviously completing the releasing your animals into the wild to accrue your yield function. To say I am disappointed in how this was handled internally is an understatement. There's a full internal investigation going on along with an audit, and we are going to pursue full legal action for whomever needs to be held accountable. If any money is recovered in the process, it'll go right to the community. My sole obligation is to my supporters, and I know this video is long overdue. Here it is. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize for how this has unfolded thus far, and I want people to know that they can trust me and that I'll always take care of the fans and people who support me. I appreciate your guys' patience while we do our internal investigation, and I promise to be transparent and disclose any information we find out in the process. And lastly, thank you, CoffeeZilla. You have catalyzed this, and I am very grateful for your work and your investigation, and I mean that. Thank you, bro.
Logan Paul is suing me for CryptoZoo, only a year after he thanked me for it. Rather than pay back his victims fully, Logan would rather publicly humiliate himself in court by accusing me of defaming him. He's hired 5 lawyers to sue me, which he hopes will stop me from exposing him again. You see, only hours before this lawsuit was filed, I had reached out to Logan Paul about a new investigation into one of his companies, which has just been accused by the Canadian government of being a multi-layered fraud in Canada. I obviously had questions, but before I was able to get answers, Logan's team of lawyers showed up to silence me. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to go through this lawsuit. I'm going to tell you how to support us if you want, because while I didn't think I'd need help, I was wrong. But before we get to my mistake, let's start with Logan's. This lawsuit is not about Logan Paul getting defamed. Instead, this is about him trying to dodge accountability, victims, and blame anyone but himself for his problems, especially me. This lawsuit says Logan Paul wants to hold me accountable for my actions. But what actions are those? Holding him accountable? It's ironic because his lawyers claim Logan has learned to believe in the importance of accountability. But accountability for who? Currently, Logan is fighting the victims of CryptoZoo in court, and now he's fighting the journalist who exposed him in the first place. Personally, I believe Logan has learned nothing from this except how to silence people with the law. But I won't be silenced because Logan's lawsuit makes no sense. We're going to go through it because from the beginning, there's problems. Logan's 5 lawyers tried to discredit me as a journalist. They paint me as someone who wanted money. They say I had a false and malicious narrative. But you know who doesn't believe that? You know who secretly praises me behind the scenes?
This journalist, YouTuber, crypto uncoverer guy named CoffeeZilla, who's incredible, by the way. A very thorough, good-hearted, smart guy did a deep dive into this project that I attempted to make called CryptoZoo.
That's right, it's Logan Paul. He's the biggest enemy of Logan Paul's defamation case. Who knew? Because defamation requires actual malice and a reckless disregard for the truth, but he just admitted on camera that I am thorough and good-hearted. Maybe that's why he wanted to remove that video from the internet, according to the YouTuber who released it.
The only issue that was ever communicated was remove this crypto stuff, remove this CryptoZoo stuff. If CryptoZoo is in there, if CoffeeZilla's in there, I'm not going to promote it.
Yeah, remove that CryptoZoo stuff, that CoffeeZilla stuff. Doesn't look good when you compliment the guy you're trying to sue. Maybe that's why Logan isn't even suing me for my original investigation at all, despite most of this lawsuit being a ridiculous fanfic about how I took Logan out of context, that Logan was a victim, that I withheld text messages. Logan isn't suing me for any of the original investigation, though, because he knows he can't. Instead, at the end of the lawsuit, we find what my defamation really is. I'm being sued for 2 videos and 1 tweet where I advocated for refunds. For the victims. Yes, you heard me right. Logan Paul sued me after I tried to get his fans, the CryptoZoo investors, a full refund.
Logan Paul hasn't paid everyone back yet. Maybe he's paid back some people, I don't know. But my guess is that he hasn't paid anyone back. But he will also only give scam victims refunds if they sign that they will not join in on the lawsuit against him, which for a multi-millionaire is shady and wrong. In the end, he would have spent not as much money just paying everyone back, apologizing, adding a little extra bonus or whatever, but he went for the worst route possible and is still legally fighting this today. He's not just a terrible person to his fans, but the people that he knows in real life, as he's treated a now ex-co-host of his podcast so terribly on multiple different occasions. Logan Paul would go on to throw multiple shots at George Janko when he could on his podcast episodes. Logan Paul is collaborating with KSI to make a, quote, hydration drink, which is every drink's purpose, so I don't understand the point of that. The drink is also now being sued as well. One reason was due to dropping an agreement with a bottle company after failing sales. They basically just dipped out of the agreement and dropped it out of nowhere, and this bottle company was supposed to make I think millions of bottles, and they dropped them in the middle of the manufacturing. Another person they're getting sued by is the Olympics. Because of them using Kevin Durant and also copyright infringement. They're also being sued due to misleading information on how, quote, healthy it is. Another reason the drink is being sued is having 3 times the normal amount of forever chemicals in it, which are chemicals that stay in your body forever. They also have an energy drink, and they're being sued over that as well. The information listed says this: Prime Energy exceeds its national regulatory limits for caffeine of 180 milligrams in a single serving container and will no longer be allowed to be sold in stores. I don't even think that's all of the reasons they're being sued or all the lawsuits, but those were at least 5 different times in 5 different lawsuits that are going on all at the same time, or in the span of the last couple of years. And overall, the drink is oversweet and something only a child could like. John Taffer, the dude from Bar Rescue, who is, a expert in drinks, made a perfect review of it, literally saying they're all too sweet, which it's true, they're all too sweet or they're just bad. The energy drink also gave a kid, I think, a heart attack because I guess the parent couldn't see the difference between the energy drink and the regular thing, or maybe the kid just got the energy drink. But either way, a kid had some chest issues and ended up being hospitalized for that. Logan Paul has been in so many controversies for years now and has to be the person with the most times canceled in internet history. And you're probably thinking, well, why is Logan Paul still allowed on YouTube and as popular as he is? In the past couple of years, he has become a WWE wrestler. A billion-dollar company can now actually protect him and even let him do matches amidst big controversies. And for whatever reason, people just let it slide. And because he does maybe one impressive move, if it was even impressive, basically people immediately forgot stuff. That literally happened. In the middle of a big controversy, he had a match, he did a move, it was clipped, and then people just forgot all about the controversy it was in. He wasn't banned off of YouTube after showing a dead body to kids because of how popular he was. It's like when a famous person gets away with committing crimes and gets a slap on the wrist by the law. Well, Logan Paul has gotten several slaps on the wrists and is still around. The other person a part of Prime Hydration, KSI, promoted the harassment of a boxer after losing to him.
Long story short, KSI lost to Tommy Fury. Acted like a baby.
Ain't no way, bro. Before he won it, it was a loss because he said he was going to...
But if that wasn't enough, he took a couple months to recollect himself after such a devastating loss to his ego. He then comes back and tells his fans to harass and berate Tommy Fury in real life.
Plus, another thing I find hilarious is whenever I come across Tommy's posts on like Instagram or Twitter, the comments are just slowing him and saying that he lost the fight, and that's because he did. So yeah, let's keep reminding Tommy that he didn't win that fight under his Instagram posts or Twitter posts or anything he posts online. And if you see him publicly, you could berate him as well and remind him that he didn't win.
To any adult with common sense, you would know that that is just completely unacceptable. You can't mobilize millions of your fans against Tommy Fury just because you lost a boxing fight by a decision.
All because he is a sore loser and when exposed becomes a huge baby about the situation and even did one of the most disgusting and worst things you can do as a boxer who takes a loss. Try to get it reversed. Boxing committees have a appeal process where if you think you got robbed, you can get the fight reviewed for a possible appeal, and KSI said he plans to go through every appeal process he can to get this loss off of his record, which is pathetic, a bad look on yourself and the sport overall, and he has lost so much respect from this stuff and from his fans. He thinks with his emotions first, which has gotten him into a few controversies off of that alone. He ended up firing Wade Plim, a person that's known for commentating on boxing and MMA, over him having his own opinions that aren't one-sided. And due to all of these controversies and everything that he has done, he has had such a rocky relationship with his fans that even his most deep ones that really do like him and his content will even say that they're backing away from watching his content or tell him that he's obviously in the wrong. And whenever he's criticized, he just laughs it off. He has never learned from any of this stuff. KSI is also partly responsible for making YouTube boxing stale, as he refuses to get anywhere near a fight against Jake Paul. The thing is, he used to be constantly against Logan Paul, but out of nowhere they started Prime together, and now he defends him in every controversy since. I guess the money from the company that actually is behind Prime was so much that he had to put down his own morals and beliefs for it. To top it off, he is also the other half of these dangerous promotions like Lunchables and Prime that are, dangerous to kids, which we'll get into later, and also is supporting and openly defending a serial scammer. Also, to be clear, Logan Paul is not just a serial scammer, but that's just basically the biggest thing that's happened recently. And one of the biggest things, he's in so many controversies, he's done so much wrong, and it's actually insane. MrBeast has allowed these same two men into videos, online posts, and now collaborations despite every single thing they have both done. MrBeast has also let people like iShowSpeed into his videos, which is someone who has abused the copyright system on YouTube and admitted to it on his third channel in a YouTube short.
YouTube asks y'all to stop spamming about these emails, about the cardigan and a Thumb Media affiliate. That is me. Just wanted to let y'all know, everybody know that. So, would y'all guys please stop? Thank y'all. Love y'all.
a response to a serious allegation in a quickly made vertical video less than a minute long on a third channel. MrBeast is someone who has in the past had issues with copyright abuse, so as a past victim of it, understanding how dumb and annoying it is, why do you openly support people who do the same? And now more than ever, MrBeast isn't in the clear either himself, as he has been exposed in huge videos by an ex-worker known as Dogpack404 for selling illegal lotteries, faking videos, endangering both friends and contestants in videos, and hiring a predator. Dogpack404 made 3 videos on this topic, and 2 of them were good, and the third one really wasn't that great, but it throws possibilities out there of bad things that have happened. People were saying that MrBeast will respond after a third video is released, but I can't remember who said that or where they got the information from. It was just something that's been going around. But if this is true and MrBeast is supposed to respond, it's been 3 weeks and he's done anything but respond. It has also came out that Amazon and MrBeast are being sued due to the upcoming series called Beast Games that's supposed to be on Amazon. This is basically a Squid Game type deal, I guess, where contestants are all competing for a $5 million cash prize, and during this time contestants have been injured, hospitalized, dealing with or dealt with mental and physical issues, chronic mistreatment, and for women, sexual harassment. They also failed to pay wages and overtime for, I guess, people that are working, like the production crew and everything. Contestants weren't given proper food, medical care, sleep, and basic hygiene products, which I think specifically talking about women hygiene products, but I'm not completely sure. Turkey Tom made a tweet about the entire lawsuit saying, "Just read through the whole lawsuit and most of the claims made are consistent with what the New York Times already reported. Although a lot of info is redacted to prevent the identities of the claimers, obviously we don't know 100% if this stuff is true, but it's not looking good." So on top of everything else going on with MrBeast, he comes out with this terrible collaboration, which is only helping dig the grave of his career. When the news got out about Lunchly, people immediately started talking negative about it, and rightfully so. And the critiques were not just about the collaborators. Dan TDM, a longtime and respected YouTuber, says, "What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust people who are selling it to them. Do better." This was the biggest response, I think, about the entire situation, and this actually made both Logan Paul and KSI angry, as Logan Paul goes on to say this: "I'll tell you what happened to YouTubers. We spend our lives creating content and building our brands. Now we want to build businesses. You don't say anything when Lunchables faces bans for allegedly containing lead, but when we create a better version you're upset, then don't eat it." But a community note was added onto this tweet by Logan Paul saying this, quote, "Prime Hydration LLC was filed against for including lead on 3 separate occasions, the third being on March 24th of 2024. Commenting on Lunchables' lead findings while including a drink also known to have lead inside a meal pack is very hypocritical." So 6 months ago, and even before that, they were having lead in their own stuff. People also called out Logan Paul for his Chinese forest incident, where he recorded a dead body and uploaded it to YouTube for millions of fans to see. Also, I think the only thing that really happened to Logan Paul is he made a response video saying he was donating to charity, and he got demonetized for a little bit, and that was it. LSI responded to Dan TDM saying, "Looks like crap to me," and shows a screenshot of Dan TDM's figurines and U2s he sold or collaborated to make, which is hypocritical as KSI has U2's figures himself, and probably some other merch that I just don't know about or can't remember. I wanted to pitch in while editing here to basically, call out KSI's weird kind of hypocrisy part here, because sure, Dan TDM has some figurines and some merch of his own, but it's just shirts and it's just, stuff that KSI's done himself, like sell figurines, which don't actually harm people. But whenever you're selling a overly sweet product that is only going to promote unhealthy habits and also has lead in it and also has had a bunch of other issues, and now selling another product that's going to do the exact same, collaborated with a chocolate bar that has changed its ingredients after saying it's more healthy, I think that, what Dan TDM does versus what you're doing is very different. Simple figurine, which you've done yourself, so it's hypocritical, versus dangerous lead-filled drink that's basically sugar water and way too sweet. KSI, what really looks bad is your reputation. The letters KSI in his name on YouTube stand for knowledge, strength, and integrity, which is ironic as he's lost all of those factors. Jacksepticeye, a respected and longtime YouTuber, even sided with Dan TDM on this. I'm pretty sure, like, basically the entire world kind of stands with Dan TDM besides maybe a few outliers. People are also calling out KSI and comparing his life to Dan TDM's. Dink Donkle made a tweet saying this. Just want to point this out. Dan TDM, 32, married, 2 kids, little to no controversies, good role model, 4+ cares about kids. KSI, 31, business partners with Logan Paul, who's known for manipulating his audience, sells stuff to kids, throws tantrums on Twitter when called out. Which also, he forgot to add the abortions part because KSI is only known for abortions, not creating kids. But it's very true, KSI really does have a sad life whenever you look at the stats. MrBeast responded to criticism, not specifically Dan TDM's tweet about the situation, but a tweet from Drama Alert talking about people criticizing the food, saying, Lunchables sells hundreds of millions of units and countless people eat it. Our goal is to give people a better for you alternative to it. Our turkey meal, for example, is 80 less calories, 60% less sugar, more electrolytes. We use real cheese, they use cheese product, they can't call it real cheese, higher quality meat, etc. Obviously, eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthier, but if someone is going to eat a pre-made meal like this, which millions of people do through Lunchables, then I think giving them a higher quality version at roughly the same price is a net good in my opinion, and why we launched Lunchly. Also, as we get the economies of scale and can get things cheaper, we will be only improving the product more and more. Heart emoji. People immediately called out MrBeast for responding to this quicker than responding to the allegations and articles about supposedly hiring a pedo, being sued multiple times, and a bad work environment. Dogpack404 made a response tweet to that tweet that I just read from MrBeast, saying kids need more than 230 calories for lunch, your product is processed garbage with no nutritional value, now address the allegations of running illegal lotteries, selling fake signatures, faking videos, endangering contestants, and hiring and protecting editors. People have also been bringing up points like why not just encourage good eating habits, and how sure it might be a healthier option, but it really isn't that significantly healthier. People are now even going into stores and vandalizing MrBeast's promotional stands for his chocolate bars, which is pretty interesting idea to say the least, and I think it's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. I like it. I think it's interesting and entertaining. MrBeast claims this is a better alternative, but thanks to Twitter notes, it shows that MrBeast's, quote, healthier than others chocolate bar with only 5 ingredients has now changed the recipe. Quote, Feastables chocolates were also marketed as being healthier than other chocolate bars, only 5 ingredients. Later, the recipe was reformulated. They are now no healthier, and the extra ingredients are disguised as, quote, unsweetened chocolate, counting as one of the 5 ingredients. These off-brand Lunchables are already getting allegations of not being healthier and having other ingredients not a soul can read out loud.
Fall for it, and their health will pay the price. I mean, according to the CDC, 1 in 5 American children are already obese, and the childhood obesity rate in this country has tripled over the last 3 decades. At least 67% of young people's diet in America is made up of ultra processed foods. At least 40% of children in America are suffering from a chronic illness that is not just obesity, and all of this ties back to our food. Just listen to what Dr. Casey Meads had to say about it.
As a food travels 1,500 miles from a factory to your plate, it's losing its nutrients every single day. And as it gets processed, it's losing nutrients. The reason we're all sick, kids and adults, is because our cellular biology is broken by the lack of good nutrients that we're getting in our food. So buying food as local as possible, as clean as possible without the pesticides and the additives is one of the best things you can do to give your cells the power to do their best work and minimize chronic illness. Of course, buying something like a health food store, Whole Foods with organic and unprocessed is great.
So obviously that means not buying things for your kids like Lunchly. Now her brother, Callie Means, who is also a brilliant health advocate that is blowing up right now, they were both on Tucker Carlson together, he spoke directly to MrBeast and their team and wrote, I love MrBeast. He's an inspiration. But this crap is not what kids need. The ingredients are nothing but sugar, seed oils, and processed grains and chemicals. There is a childhood chronic disease crisis. We have allies ready to work with you at any time on healthier options. I mean, again, they literally have everything at their disposal. Not only do they have money, but now they have health advocates reaching out to them saying, we will help you. We will change this. Again, every single resource. Like, Logan Paul and his brother Jake, they have endorsed Donald Trump. They know him. They have literally had him on their podcast. They could call him up. They could have RFK Jr. working with them in a heartbeat. And I'm not saying that this brand needs to be political. I don't think that it should be political, but they could be making America healthy again just through their influence and what they choose to do with it. But instead, they're putting this crap out into the world. I mean, just look at these ingredients. You could barely pronounce any of them. That is what your kids are eating. I mean, 90% of those ingredients should be axed immediately, and parents should take one look at this label and refuse to buy it. Now, thankfully, when this ingredient list started to circulate, the outrage got even louder. One guy said, 3 guys with more money than they could ever spend, who hold the highest level of influence over children, they team up and they do what? Sell them the most toxin-packed, nutrient-devoid, dopamine-frying food product that one could fathom. Now,
MrBeast will do the exact same thing with the off-brand Lunchable that he did with the chocolate bar, silently at some point. Probably gonna get more expensive and not be as good. If you look and see what happens whenever YouTubers make stuff like this, lawsuits, exposed for not being good for you, and more, like having lead in it. Then by evidence, it's clear to see that no one should buy this product or any of the products from these people. 1, you are openly supporting a scammer, an egotistical idiot who has done bad things and treated people poorly, and someone who is currently being exposed more and more for bad things, and even sued for poor work environments and not paying people. These people do not care about you and only care about the monetary gain and selling stuff to kids, or more so, a kid's parent. They are being paid millions of dollars by companies to be the face of these products and sell them to you. Giving kids Prime just sounds like an advertisement for unhealthy eating and consuming habits, because it's so sweet, and kids will only want that type of overly sweet and unhealthy stuff. As a person or a parent, please be responsible and spread the word. Also, spread the word about the dangers of CoComelon. Sunny V2 made a video on it a couple of days ago, and I made a tweet promoting the video, as if I think a video is good and talks about an interesting subject, I will talk about it on Twitter, which you can go follow me at PERK3030, by the way. But Sunny V2 in this video goes on to expose CoComelon for even doing the opposite effect and actually damaging kids and the dangers of it. And it will be linked in the description below. Please go check that out. To end it off, Logan Paul needs to be banned from every platform and pay for the scams that he has done against his fans and all the other mistakes he has made in his career, as he's gotten away with everything for far too long. At some point, YouTube or someone is going to actually do something about this dude. MrBeast needs to respond to everything, and KSI needs to log off for good. IShowSpeed needs to be banned from YouTube. Abusing copyright system is a permanent bannable offense, by the way. But just like Logan Paul, he's got special privileges, as he's, like, you know, as popular as they are. Like I said, do not buy these products, and make sure to spread the message to friends, family, to protect kids. Like, if you know someone with a kid or something, just let them know about this type of stuff. And also the Sunny V2 video, linked in the description below. Let them know about that too, because CoComelon is very popular, and we gotta protect the kids. Please let me know your all's thoughts on everything in the comments down below. I have a bigger video I want to work on, but honestly, I've been so busy. And hopefully y'all will get that video next weekend, unless another controversy like this comes out. Thank you all for watching and for the support, and thank you all for like over 10,000 subscribers. That's absolutely insane. It feels like the only thing I can do halfway correctly is make videos. So thank you all for supporting me and giving me your time and support, as it does mean a lot, and it gives me, you know, a bit of hope. It gives me that little bit of happiness and hope that I really need. If you haven't, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow my Twitter at PERK3030. And in the end, I'm PERK30. And good luck to you all this week.
In conclusion, is the perfect example of what zero pussy does to a motherfucker.